On March 14th, Governor Baker signed into law House Bill 4056, referred to in shorthand as the Opioid Law. This new law introduces comprehensive reform measures to the way opioid pain medications are administered and regulated with the hopes of preventing addiction. I spoke with Marilyn Belmonte, co-founder of Burlington Parents Stand Together, about the effects the bill would have on the community.
It's actually very comprehensive and extremely elaborate, but in a nutshell, it does cover a lot of really important areas that I'm kind of excited about.
First, physicians in the state will need to undergo addiction training to understand if their patients are becoming dependent on the medications they prescribe.
Up until a few years ago, medical schools did not do any training whatsoever on addiction. And so doctors are prescribing medications that are addictive and had really no idea of how to tell whether or not their patients were addicted and what to do.
To that end, the new law will also require physicians to prescribe just 7 days worth of the medication to any first-time users, instead of the usual 30.
Because it's important for you to keep track of the prescriptions that are in your home and to make sure that no one is stealing them, no one's taking them. And it's harder to do when there's 30 pills in the bottle than when there's only 7.
But what has Marilyn most excited are the changes it will bring about in the school system. For one, the school will now be required to do a verbal screening of students.
It's not a urine test or anything like that, but they will be training school nurses and other health professionals to perform these verbal screenings of students at the public schools. They'll have to choose 2 grades to do this, and at the beginning of the school year, parents will be notified. Any student athletes will be given written opioid awareness material. It will also be given to any adults that are working with any of the after-school programs, whether it's band or football, They are also going to be requiring that the schools provide the state with an updated, more comprehensive student education and prevention policy, which must include evidence-based programs and what we call best practices.
At the school committee meeting of April 12th, Superintendent Eric Conti reiterated his commitment to helping students and said that Burlington would be taking part in the verbal screening program.
We sort of knew as this law was being debated, we being my colleagues, knew when this law was being debated, some of what was being proposed. We all thought it was very important legislation and critical for us to take action.
He also stressed that this is not about punitive. We don't want parents to be concerned, or what's going to happen if my kid is discovered to have a substance abuse problem. It's to help students get treatment. It is not going to be about punishment or suspensions or anything like that. So all in all, I would say I was extremely pleased.
On Wednesday, May 4th, the Burlington Police Department will be hosting an opioid education night in the BHS auditorium, featuring talks from a DEA agent, narcotics detectives, and former New England Patriot Chris Sullivan.
He was a former Patriots player who has a history with opioids, and he wants to talk about how that has affected his life. There's going to be what they call a mock bedroom. They're going to be setting up a teen bedroom so that parents can walk through and just sort of test their knowledge on drug paraphernalia and maybe some, hints and signs that you might be able to see in your kid's room that they are using substances, a variety of substances.
It may seem like a lot, but Marilyn believes this is a step in the right direction.
I think that we're starting to just look at things through very different spectacles. Our perspectives have to change, and I think they are changing, and that's going to make a huge difference.
I'd like to thank Marilyn and everyone else who has appeared in my reports. This will be my last B News story, and I'm very thankful to everyone who took the time to talk with me over the past 3 years. So, for the last time, this is Mike Duvall for B News, saying thank you for watching. Back to you in the studio.